Right. It's good to see you, Tamala. How are you doing?
Well, ain't a long time no see.
I know
Yeah,
it's been a little while.
yeah, it's been a while.
Thanks for coming on here and agreeing to do this with me. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure people that are watching this do as well. So I just wanted to have you share a little bit about your experience working with me. So wherever you want to take that first, just a little bit about your experience.
I had like literally no intentions of hiring you at all. You came up in my inbox, and I was like, "Who is this?" So I read your message. Okay, so let me see. Let me see. Let me see what you. Let me see what she's talking about. I didn't really think that I needed a coach, but I really felt that I needed to do something, and I think that this would have been a good opportunity just to speak with someone and see what it was all about. And I was very happy. It wasn't what I expected. I thought I went in and I expected you to give me some heavy pitch, a real strong sales tactic, like a boiler room tactic or whatever. But I didn't realize your genuineness took me back. It like made me like, oh, this is not what I thought it was going to be. Because you see a lot of like people advertising their coaching businesses a lot on LinkedIn
Hmm.
and other social networks. You see a lot of coaches all around, a lot. So it's kind of hard to like decide in like if you want to hire a coach, like what's the best coach for you,
Hmm.
um, what they're all about. And the best way to do that is to talk to people. So I had no intention of hiring you, but I definitely wanted to know what it was all about. So I clicked yes and was like really, really surprised by your genuineness, um, and how serious you were about what you do.
Mm, very
Yeah,
serious.
yeah, yes, you are.
So we worked together coaching for a few months for career.
Mhm.
So what was it that made you decide? So you had that intention or you didn't think that you would hire me. So what flipped that switch?
Well, I don't know if you recall or not, but we had one session was the initial like the initial like feeling like is this something we both want to do? Like you want to kind of have a discussion, see what my needs are, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was the first session or the second session, but it was one of those very early sessions where I was making a joke. And like, anybody who knows me that I like making people laugh. And I have really good jokes. So I made a joke about giving a TED talk, expecting you to get the joke or maybe participate in the joke or laugh. But when I said something about giving a TED talk, you were very serious when you asked me, is that what you want to do? And it was right then when I knew that I was going to hire you because you were straight down to business, like completely I'm like, I felt bad in the kind of way that she didn't get my joke. I mean, I pride myself in she didn't get my joke. you know? But later on, like, after that session, it resonated with me so much, Elena,
Mm,
that it still does today. Like I'm still hearing your
yeah.
voice in my head saying, is that what you want to do? Um, but it was then why I decided to, yeah, I'm going to see what this. I need to see what this is all about, um, and I had to like, take the finances out of it and think about the investment that I'm making in myself, and that
Hmm.
this career coach is came to me, and I was expecting something totally different than what you offered.
Mm.
Um, but that was the moment where I knew I wanted to hire you. When you straight looked at me in the camera and said, "Is that what you want to do?" Because I didn't know.
And it's so funny because I don't remember that.
I know you.
But you did bring that up to me. I think shortly after that, maybe a month or two after that, you had mentioned something about I guess what that meant to you, that comment that I made. Uh but I believe that I said it. I just don't remember it. But I mean, my intention behind making a type of comment like that is because a lot of people, if they make a comment about something that may not seem serious, usually there's some level of seriousness or desire, or else they wouldn't say it. And what happens so often is that people don't stop to really think about, is this next job I'm going for really something that I want to grow into and that I want to build for myself in my career? They're just like, oh yeah, it makes sense, or oh, it's the next step, or oh, this is a job that looks similar to what I do now, so therefore I'm qualified. But people don't really a lot of times take the time to be truly introspective and say, how do I want to spend most of my waking hours Monday through Friday? And
Right.
so any little thing people something sometimes tend to dismiss because they're like, oh, that's such a big thing. Like, could I really be a TED Talk speaker? So I always like take those with seriousness because it's like, well, who else is going to be the person to really probe you to think about that?
Right.
Because
You
there
know
is
what?
some level of seriousness.
And that's what sets you apart. That's one of the things that sets you apart, that you're aware of that.
Thanks.
You know that, because most people, you know what I'm saying, like, you're not the first person I've had a pitch from, you know what I mean? So most people who are selling their services, most of them, they do not take in consideration, they don't pick up on those little things. It's all about
Uh-huh.
getting the sale, getting the client, getting the customer, but they don't pick up on those little nuances that is what's being said without being said. And that's it. I picked up, I'm like, okay, yeah, she's good. And you're right, you're absolutely right. Like, people who do make a lot of jokes, there's a bit of seriousness in that. Yeah, it really
Mm-hmm.
is. There's an intention behind that, either if even if I'm not aware of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Intention behind, there's something I'm communicating that is behind that joke. um and your perception and your awareness of detecting that immediately, and I was like, oh wow, okay, yeah, this is different. This is
Yeah.
going to be different.
Mm, thanks.
You're welcome.
So when we started working together and talking about the challenges that you're facing, the problems that were coming up, and on a scale of 1 to 10, you said the feelings associated with those problems and challenges were a 7 out of 10. So I wanted to ask you, where are you on that scale now? And share a little bit about the transformation that you were able to have.
Right now, just put it into, I want to share the first. I always answer the last thing first.
That's
The
fine.
last thing you said, I do first. Well, first, like, I want to say that I was invited to a networking event, um, that I attended, and I can honestly say, if I would have been invited prior to working with you, I wouldn't have gone. That seven would have kept me from going. That seven would have kept me from, like, being open to go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but now I went. I did go, because of mostly largely because of the work I did with you, um, and changing how I see perceptions, which is really big. You remember we spent a while
That I
about
do.
perceptions.
Uh-huh.
We spent a long time about perceptions, and how you helped me refocus what I perceive, and how it is being translated into my actions. So that seven went
Mm-hmm.
down. Seven went down to a one or two, and I say that not a reflection on the work that you did. Is my ownership of the work that we did together. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
reason why, because it should be your work. Your part is a zero. But because I it is your part is a zero. I can say without a shadow of a doubt, even reading through your even going through your consultation and reading through things, I'm like literally saying to myself, I don't know if it's gonna work. Tamala, I don't know if it's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? But it was through your leadership, um, and your guidance, I was even able to go to that networking event,
Mm-hmm.
participate in that networking event at all. So that from for me to go from that seven to like a zero or a one, I don't understand. I don't think you know how big that is for me. I mean, you probably do, but like not on the scale that how I feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously, before working with you, I did not have the tools to talk myself off that wall of whether I
Mm-hmm.
should go or not. I did not have the tools to look and to be introspective, to go back and do the processing, the NLP that I needed to do to overcome those fears of putting myself out there. So yeah, I mean, it works. Like I really do like having that the those tools you gave me. I really do like having that in my toolkit. In those times where I get mixed in those perceptions, you get lost in those perceptions. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing. I love it. Is there anything else that you would like to share or say of
Um,
your experience working with me?
oh yeah. Like I said before, like all of this, I just did not have any type of reason. You know what I mean? Like to choose you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then along the way, even during and post our time together, there have been like, you know, like confirmation that I made the right decision. Like honestly, it really one thing is like in this networking event, I've met so many coaches. So many coaches. Um, where before working with you, I would have like just dismissed it. Like, okay, you know. But after working with you, it just lets me know how well you have put your services packages together. Like there is not there of all the coaches I met, and I do appreciate and appreciate meeting them, and I do enjoy meeting them, and I wish them the very best. But there is not a one because I had the same amount of time I had with you in our initial consultations, about the same amount of time I had with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, there is no doubt in my mind that no coach that I met in that networking event that had a package that compares to yours. None whatsoever. Like there is no way that I felt confident hiring one of those coaches to help me with my resume. There is no way to of all the coaches I've met in that event that I would trust to help me to work through smart goals and mock interviews wow, and LinkedIn optimization. Like what? You know, there is no. I mean, your package. Like now, looking back, and I still get like, mind you, I still get invitations for
Mm.
coaches. You know what I'm saying? I just got one today.
Yeah.
I just got an invitation today. I get a ton of invitations from coaches who wants me to hire them. But at this point, I'm kind of jaded because I don't know. I'm not confident that they will have the services that you offer. I don't think they will. I don't think that they can have the services that you are. You are the reason why I even started to write articles on LinkedIn in the first place. Do you understand that? You are the reason. You're a large part. I'm not saying I'm good at it.
You're a very good writer, I think.
I mean, I don't. You know, we've had this conversation. We had this conversation before, but you know,
Yeah.
I struggle with with writing. I'm more of a like
Mm-hmm.
analytical type of person, and
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't include linguistics. Um, but you are the reason. Like you know, I had the courage to put myself out there. Like you're the one that gave me the tools to know that you know, Tamala, you're like you're judging yourself way harder than everybody else is judging yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're never gonna know if you don't put yourself out there. You never know if you're gonna. And immediately after I started like publishing on LinkedIn, like my like views would way up. Like, oh, this person, these you're noticing he had this many profile views, or you know, like who are these people? Like, my profile, like I don't even know. But yeah, you are large in part reason why I wanted, like, you know, I really wanted to like practice that, like tap into things that I was not giving myself enough credit for. And it's
Mm-hmm.
working with you that I was able to find the confidence to do that.
Good. I'm glad. And that
Yeah,
makes me happy. And I love to
yeah,
see you living in a more I guess aligned version of yourself
yeah,
to put
yeah.
yourself out there more.
Yeah, you know, we talked about that. We talked about that. You like, I don't see any reason why you're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, but with you, like, we went through the process of releasing those negative emotions. And it's something that I can like go back to whenever I start to feel those negative emotions, or any negative emotions. I know I like, because what a lot of times what we do is we stay inside our heads so often that we don't know how to release or don't have the tools to
Mhm.
know how to release. And I'm one of those people. I'm way introspective, you know that. I tend to go inside myself to find answers about myself, as opposed to reaching out, and having that outward support as well. Um, but with working with you, you really, those two things that hit me hard, perceptions. Oh,
I remember.
that was huge. It was so, perceptions, and going through those the process to release those negative emotions, attached to negative experience, because negative experiences oftentimes outweigh our positive experiences, and
Hmm.
we don't have enough tools to realize of, um, have enough tools to, one, separate the two and keep them in their own lanes, and know that one does not depend on the other, right? And perceptions have a lot to do with that. And I think that the releasing the emotional part was the part I was like, I don't know about this part, because it is scary. It is absolutely scary. And you said that. You set that up. You was like, okay, do you like, I don't think you guys like working with Elena. This is what she did on the day that we were going through this part. She asked me, she said, do you have any water? Do you have any tissue? You have any tissues? You really let me know it's not gonna be easy. I don't you think it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be hard. I say, yes, yeah, it is hard, but it's definitely worth it.
Mm, that's the
Yeah,
key.
it was worth it. Good job.
Mm, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Good.
Well, thanks for sharing about your experience. I always love to hear it and how it's helped you. And of
Oh
course,
yeah.
helped other people too that can hear about it. So,
Yeah. Well, I'm really, really proud of the work that you're doing. I look forward to seeing how you grow in your career. Would encourage anybody else, if they really feel like they need some help. Elena Pastori. She's really good. She's good enough for me, for her processes to for me to still continue to use them months after I work with her. And I don't see where, like, I see myself still using these techniques
mm,
years into the future. That's how helpful they were for me. Um, because a lot of times, like, we get mixed signals from the outside environment.
mm-hmm,
And those mixed signals, if we don't have a definite answer, we tend to insert our own answers into that.
mm-hmm,
The work that I did with Elena allowed me to separate, like I said, allowed me to separate those two things and disassociate, from what perceptions I thought I saw, and the perceptions that I think that are reality.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, thanks for doing this and for joining.
You're welcome.
And that's it.
Awesome.